For years, the unspoken rule of the modern franchise has been bigger is better.
Be tall.
Massive set pieces, increasingly high stakes, and world-ending prophecies. But in early 2026, HBO did something radical. They went small.
How good a night are you?
You'll see. It's this way.
The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms didn't arrive with the roar of a dragon, but with the rhythmic clank of dented armor and the rustling wind through the trees of Belfast. So when the first trailer dropped in late 2025, many were left asking the same question.
Where are my dragons?
Following the cultural explosion of last week's 5th episode, a 9.8 rated masterpiece that has dominated social media, they aren't asking anymore. The show has officially transcended the prequel label. As we stand on the precipice of the season finale dropping this week, the world isn't talking about CGI lizards, it's talking about a hedge knight and his squire.
Do you think I'll ever make a knight one day?
Sure, why not? You're a likely lad.
I'm a bit puny.
Today, we're taking an in-depth look at why a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms became the revival nobody saw coming. We'll break down its radical narrative minimalism, the visceral helmet-eye view that changed the look of Westeros, and how it successfully avoided the dreaded MCU humor trap. This is how HBO found the human pulse of the Seven Kingdoms again.
We're taking a look at the smaller side of Westeros in Dunk's POV.
The shift toward narrative minimalism is what makes the show feel so revolutionary. While its predecessors were sprawling geopolitical puzzles, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms serves as the ultimate accessible entry point. You don't need to be a Westeros scholar to enjoy it. You don't even need to know the difference between a Tyrell and a Martell to follow the plot.
This isn't about building houses.
Instead, we experience the world building from the ground up. Dunk isn't an aristocrat. He's a base-born orphan from Flea Bottom, and through his eyes, we feel the stark reality of the Seven Kingdoms.
You hungry? Always.
The mud, simple taverns, and the harsh social hierarchies that the High Lords usually ignore. But while the entry bar is low, the ceiling for hardcore fans is incredibly high, because the show is packed with deep lore rewards and Easter eggs. For the scholars, there are whispers of Blackfire rebellions and prophetic dragon dreams, but for newcomers, it's just a damn good story that opens up the gates to a huge, fantastic universe. This is at the heart of George R.R. Martin's intentions when writing his Dunk and Egg novellas.
I wanted to tell a story that focused on the small folk, as I call them. We weren't going to get the Iron Throne unless everybody else in Westeros died. So the civil wars and the magic and the threat of the others or the White Walkers in the north, all of that. How does that affect the ordinary people?
Every coin Dunk loses and every vow he keeps carries an existential weight that drags us in just as much as the huge geopolitical conflicts Game of Thrones is known for. And this focus on personal conflict also shaped the show's cinematography.
Lots of our conversations were about how to maintain the tone of Game of Thrones, but allow the audience to sit into this grungier world where you can almost live the life of a hedge knight.
If the story is small, the camera has to be close. To ground this journey, director Owen Harris, best known for the vivid, emotional landscapes of Black Mirror's San Junipero, gave Westeros what critics call a fresh coat of paint. But fresh doesn't mean clean. This isn't the shiny, high fantasy aesthetic of a typical blockbuster. The production team was obsessed with maintaining the Game of Thrones DNA. It's the same gritty Westeros, but just like the story, we're seeing it from a different angle. While House of the Dragon often leans into a grand, hazy, epic filter to blend its massive CGI backdrops, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms goes in the opposite direction. It's lush with color and saturated light, trading King's Landing grandeur for the textured reality of the Irish countryside.
Fits my grip as well as it ever fit his.
The filmmaking here is obsessed with proximity. Harris uses a shallow depth of field to create a sense of intimacy that the massive battles of the past often sacrificed.
The main directive was to have everything feel violently in Dunk's POV.
The creators call this the muddy helmet eye view. During the jousting scenes, the camera isn't a distant observer, it's locked inside the plate armor. We don't just watch a knight ride, we hear the heavy, panicked breathing inside the helm and feel the heart-pounding thud of impact. This visual honesty was achieved through a radical commitment to practical sets. By choosing the reality of one knight and a few trees over a horde of CGI soldiers, the show makes us feel every bruise and every splash of mud. It turns the Seven Kingdoms into a place you can actually touch, and this pursuit of authenticity can be found in every aspect of the show. None of this would have worked without the direct guiding hand of George R.R. Martin.
Is great. He has a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of resonance with the story.
After expressing public frustration with how other adaptations drifted away from his vision, Martin was reportedly there every step of the way for this production. He even hosted a week-long writing summit to ensure the series' creative architecture was unbreakable. But Martin's influence didn't stop at the script. He and showrunner Ira Parker weren't looking for polished Hollywood archetypes. They were looking for people who inhabited the same raw vulnerabilities as their fictional counterparts. This is why Peter Claffey is the perfect Dunk. At 6'5", the former professional rugby player certainly had the stature.
Maybe I could be a glorious knight.
But it was his imposter syndrome that won the role.
I went to the toilet and I puked everywhere in the production office because I was just so nervous and so full of anxiety. Ira, he's like, it's just like Dunk. You know what I mean?
Claffey's real-world anxiety became the emotional engine for a hedge knight who was constantly terrified of being found out. That same rejection of TV fakery extended to 11-year-old Dexter Saul Ansel.
He is Egg, and he was also very excited to shave his head, and that was a big stipulation for George, no bald caps.
In the lore, Egg shaves his head to hide his Targaryen identity, and seeing a child actor make the same physical sacrifice brings a level of sincerity to the screen that a wig simply can't capture. These endearing lead performances were also captured thanks to the show's clever balance between humor and peril.
It's a hedge knight, ain't it? What? It's like a knight, but sadder.
No, I'm not
It's got to sleep in the hedges because no lord will have it.
Aww.
Perhaps the most surprising success of the series is its humor.
Why the fuck are you in my tent?
So it's all supper.
It is significantly funnier than any previous trip to Westeros, while also skillfully avoiding what's become known as the MCU humor trap. In recent years, many franchises have relied on bathos, unwilling to let the scene unfold with sincerity. This is when humor functions as armor for the audience.
You flipped too hard, damn it!
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms takes the opposite approach. Here, the humor isn't an apology for the world, it's a symptom of it. Showrunner Ira Parker calls this nightmare comedy, the kind of humor that stems from the sheer, earthy absurdity of medieval life. And this form of comedy is present from the very opening scene. As the iconic Game of Thrones theme begins to swell, it is unceremoniously interrupted as Dunk dashes behind a tree to relieve himself.
Hopefully people forgive us.
Game of Thrones always had a vein of the absurd, but A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms perfects it by making the humor even more character-driven. The decision to omit Dunk's internal monologue, which is present throughout the books, also helps transform his social awkwardness into a comedic anchor. It's not simply a PG-rated Westeros, it's Westeros with a human heartbeat. And the jokes actually make the world feel more dangerous because the characters feel more vulnerable. And last week's 5th episode more than proved that.
Don't lose your nerve now.
In the Name of the Mother was nothing short of an earthquake. This is where every radical choice the show made, from the narrative minimalism to the muddy helmet eye view, finally culminates in a singular, breathtaking hour of television. Yet, it achieves this by boldly breaking our expectations. This episode goes dead serious. There is no humor here to break the tension. The show allows the gravity of the Trial of Seven to truly land. It forces the audience to breathe the same suffocating, anxious air as the characters, proving that sincerity is far more powerful than a self-aware quip.
I wanted it to have that feel like old westerns when the two gunslingers were going to finally do it.
The episode is a masterclass in pacing. On one hand, one of the most visceral and impressive battle sequences in TV history. It's a chaotic, claustrophobic nightmare of clashing steel.
And we need to feel him struggling, we need to feel his confusion.
But the genius move is the 20-minute flashback to Dunk's childhood. It is the emotional backbone of the entire series. By seeing Dunk's vulnerability as a scavenger in Flea Bottom, we gain a profound window into his soul. This intimate detour provides the moral fuel we need to return to the mud of the present. We aren't just watching a fight, we are spiritually invested in every blow Dunk takes.
Get up.
This is where the show's long game pays off perfectly, because the series spent 4 episodes meticulously building our sympathy for Dunk as a human being. The stakes feel existential. When Dunk finally secures his victory, the audience experiences a moment of pure, hard-earned catharsis that feels like the ultimate triumph of the underdog.
I need good men, Ser Duncan.
But this is still Westeros. The show brings us crashing back to the harsh reality of the soil. The death of Prince Baelor Breakspear serves as a brutal reminder that in this world, even the greatest victories come with a devastating price. It's a classic George R.R. Martin gut punch. Quite simply, the franchise at its absolute zenith. So, what makes A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms this successful?
How can you possibly remember some fucking hedge knight?
It's the perfect calibration between the completely new and the unmistakably familiar. The show succeeded because it didn't try to out-dragon its predecessors. It tried to out-human them. It redefined the franchise, trading sprawling puzzles for a ground-up perspective. It gave us a fresh visual language and practical sets to make Westeros a place you can actually feel. It mastered a unique humor, not to mask the tension, but to make the characters more vulnerable and real. After the emotional wreckage and the high-stakes brilliance of In the Name of the Mother, all eyes are on the finale. Can HBO stick the landing and solidify this as the new gold standard for the franchise? Or will the harsh reality of Westeros claim one more victim before the credits roll? One thing is certain, Westeros is back, and showed us that you don't need 1,000 CGI dragons to keep an audience's pulse racing. You just need a knight who remembers his vows, a boy with a secret, and a story told with absolute sincerity. Now we want to hear from you. After seeing the Visceral Trial of Seven, do you agree with the ratings? Is In the Name of the Mother truly the greatest hour in the history of Westeros? Or does an icon like the Reigns of Castamere still hold the crown for you?
The feast is over.
Were you as absolutely gutted by the tragic fate of Baelor Breakspear as we were? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time with Just Watch.
Can't even drink a pint of ale.
Yeah, because it's disgusting.